Alright, what is up guys? VV back with another video. And today we're going to kind of look at a cool new deck that's coming out in OP04. We do not have access to this in the East yet. I'm of course on OnePieceTopDecks.com. And the way to get here, for those who might not know, you go to OnePieceTopDecks.com, click on deck list, and then you can look at the stuff in the East, which is up top here, or look at the stuff in the West down here at the bottom. So today we're going to be looking at a red-purple Luffy. It looks like it got first place in like a little card shop standard battle. Just to look at. Not sure how good this deck is just yet, right? Now this deck will be available in OP04, and it's part of a the starter list. It's a big ultimate deck box, or how do you say it? It comes with 3 red-purple starter leaders, right? I think it's Eustace Kid and Trafalgar Law. You'll have to look into that, if you really want to know what all's going on there. But long story short, that's something that's going to be coming out in the middle of OP04. Okay, if they do the same release in the West that they did in the East, which they usually do. Okay, or they do it in the same order, you know what I mean? So first of all, let's go ahead and look at the leader. Let's see what he does. He is a 6,000 power, 3 life leader. Okay, so Edward Newgate in power, but the lowest life we've seen so far on a leader, and mixes red and purple, which is interesting, right? So red kind of known for power manipulation, purple known for dawn manipulation. Let's see what we get. Activate main once per turn if you have 0 dawn cards on your field or 8 or more dawn cards on your field. So 0 or 8 or more. Add up to 1 dawn card from your dawn. I can't even read. Add up to 1 dawn card from your dawn deck and set it as active. Okay, so very cool. So you won't be able to use this on turn 1 because of this effect, unless there's something that's going to cause us to dip in to 0 dawn. Right, something similar to how Iceberg is as a leader, right, where you return a dawn card. So we'll have to see what this guy has in his deck that makes it work. Okay, so first up, we're not going to go over Otama, Newgate, and Jozu. These are all well known. And for those who might be confused on why he's running 4 Edward Newgate, because in the East, in the West, this card is restricted down to 1 copy. But in the East, they never gave that restriction, well, at least not that I'm aware of, they never gave the restriction out. And it did not even happen to them. When we were in OP03, they're in OP04, and they still never got that kind of restriction. So, not sure what to think about that. Use your own interpretation, but it's one of those things where they're able to run 4 Newgates still in the East. They were able to in OP03 and in OP04. They never got that restriction. That only happened in the West. We'll see how effective that restriction even is going to be in the West. I don't think it's going to change too much, to be completely honest. But anyway, so he's running 4 Newgates, which seems very good, obviously, just like how Newgate was in the Edward Newgate decks, right? Going from 6,000 base power in your leader up to 8,000 power for a turn. Yeah, seems really good, right? and that's kind of the thing I don't understand is why would they ban this in the West, or not ban it, they restrict it down to a single copy you can have per deck. Why would you restrict it down to 1 and in the West, but not the East? When here we go again, I think what a lot of people are saying, this isn't necessarily just 100%, but what a lot of people are saying is the fact that Newgate can go in any deck that runs red, any deck that runs red in it, splashes red in any way, shape, or form, you can run this card in it. It's a 9-cost 10K. That's good on paper, but it's on play is what's unbelievable, right? So it's strange that it wasn't restricted over in the East as well, right? Because here we go, we're seeing it pop up in a Monkey D. Luffy deck, as a 4 of. This is not a Whitebeard deck. This is not anything like that. It's just a straight up Straw Hat Crew deck, right? Or if this card's accurate. Sometimes the way these cards interpret, like I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's accurate though. Okay. 2K counters, 4 Jozu, 4 Otama, 3 Makino, 4 4-cost Marco, 4 5-cost Marco down here, 4 Izo, 4 Fasa, that's just a blocker, it's just a 2-cost 2K blocker. 4 of the Queen blocker that Dawn -1 draws you a card and you trash one. For Miss All Sunday, I do want to talk about this real quick. I think this card is just awesome. This card is just amazing. It's not insane like with what it has on its card, like for the power. It's just a 5-cost 5K. In fact, that's 2K under what you'd expect on a vanilla body, right? Vanilla body with a 1K counter. Well, this doesn't have 2,000 power, and it doesn't have 1,000 counter. But look what it does have. On play, add up to 1 Rested Dawn to your cost area. And if you have 6 or more Dawn, draw 1 card. So you see, like, yeah, that could be used for tricks in other decks. But in this deck, generally speaking, it's just there to ramp you a Dawn, right? It's there to ramp you a Dawn. And then if you have 6 or more, you're going to draw a card. So the first go-around, you're probably drawing a card from this. However, with the trigger, it's Dawn -2 to play this card. So now it does say, I wonder, the trigger does have an activation cost attached to it where you have to return 2 Dawn. So if you were at 0, or say you were at 1, 0 or 1, if you're at 0 or 1, like say the game just started and you're on the play or on the draw, one of those, excuse me. Wait, no, 1, 2, well, that wouldn't be possible to do normally. But if there's a way to go back to 0, okay, let's just pretend, because there's got to be a way to get back to 0. That's the whole point of having this Luffy card, right? If you go back to 0, then what, you see what I'm saying? Like, would you be able to, I don't think you'd be able to activate this trigger if you were at 0 Dawn or 1 Dawn somehow, like just for this example, because you have to return 2 Dawn. It says Dawn -2 to play this card. Am I understanding that correctly? I'm pretty sure I am. I know that's probably technical. How often will that come up? Probably never, but I'm just wondering. Okay, but in general, this is a 5-cost 5K that draws you a card and ramps you forward 1 Dawn. I think this card is excellent. Excellent, excellent. But yeah, other than that looks like... Oh, and then, excuse me, we got 4 Whitebeard Pirate Searcher and 3 Blast Breath. So, yeah, looks like he's just surviving off of defending with Marcos and 2K counters, because he is running 4 Otama, 4 Jozu, 3 Makino for 2K counters. He's got Queen blocker, Marco blocker, Fasa blocker, and then he's just blast breathing and radical beaming for the win, right? He's probably just going straight Edward Newgate every single turn, right? But yeah, I thought there was like, I was expecting to see like the Luffy card that resets you down to, you know, all the way down to 0, doesn't he? Because then it lets you activate this card. Let me see something. 4, 8, 12, 15, 19, 23, 27, 31, 35, 39, 43, plus 7. Yeah, so that's it. There's no missing cards. Well, definitely tell me what you guys think about this list. And one thing, I wonder, so this came out, this was 7/29 when this happened, and let me see. I don't remember exactly when the restriction was, but it was definitely before 7/29, like in the West for Edward Newgate. And I'm wondering if a deck like this is what caused them to do that. Because notice he's running 4 Rad Beams, 4 the Marcos, and 4 the Newgates. All those are down to 1 now in the West. You can't do that anymore. But who knows? Maybe you'll be able to do it again in OP04. They did say they might lift the restriction again in OP04, but we're not sure about that yet. That's just, you know, who knows. But yeah, this wasn't like a huge tournament. It looks like it was just a card shop, standard battle, probably like a little local tournament style or type of deal. What kind of potential do you think this deck has, guys? Like what do y'all? How good do y'all think this deck can be? And are there more cards he should be playing? Like maybe cards that come out in OP05 that are going to make this deck even better? Like y'all tell me what you think. Because I'm not going to lie, when I look at this on paper, it doesn't seem that crazy to me. I'm kind of struggling to you know. I can't really put together in my head how this pulled it off, right? Like, how did this deck win, right? I don't mean to say it like that. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the player or the format or the group of players he's playing against, but I don't see how this deck was any better than, like, let's just go back real quick. Let me hit back. Like why does it say red green? It's probably supposed to be Trafalgar Law. Yeah, it's Law. There's just some type of typo. But yeah, I don't see how it beats like a Trafalgar Law deck, a Katakuri deck especially. And like I almost expected the card, this card or list to be in one of these 3-on-3 battles, right? Then it would make sense to me, you know, because I do think that's interesting. I've put more thought into that since the video I covered on Purple Yellow Crocodile. I was like, man, that is kind of an interesting list, and it would allow you to use a character like this, you know, much more effectively, right? Like being able to swing 6 every turn. That would be really cool. But in a standard, I guess in a standard game, it just doesn't seem that crazy to me. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Maybe I'm crazy. You know, maybe I'm the crazy one. So y'all definitely give me your thoughts on it. Like I said, I do think they're starting to reveal OP05 stuff that will probably be very good in this kind of deck. But until then, you know, I do struggle. I see the Whitebeard Pirate stuff. There's a lot of things they can grab because it looks at 5. And its trigger can activate it. But look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Whitebeard Pirates in its types. So it can be any kind of event or anything, but I guess that doesn't matter here because both events are not Whitebeard Pirates. And the same thing with Ezo. It's looking for, you know, it's doing these top 5 searches to snag new gates, I guess. And then I'm assuming, again, I don't know, but I'm assuming he's just chaining Newgate into Newgate into Newgate. Right? You just, okay, I'm just going to Ezo search or I'm going to Whitebeard Pirate search and I'm just going to keep getting, I'm basically going to sit at 8,000 power. And if you want to be able to crack that, you have to, realistically, you know, with all these 2K counters, you have to swing for 10,000 to crack that. So maybe that's the true power in it. And then it stabilizes with these 12 blockers here, 4 Marco, 4 Fossa, and 4 Queen. It's got some ramp and Miss All Sunday. And it doesn't lose any Dawn outside of Queen and Blast Breath. That's the only minus Dawn effects it even runs. And hey, if you only lose 1 Dawn a turn, remember you can lose if you're at 10 Dawn, right? You can lose 2 Dawn every single turn, and you'll be fine because you're going to gain 2 Dawn the next turn. Just at EOT in a turn. But the weird part is this effect has 0 use, right? Wait. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Okay, well that's actually not too bad, right? Because let's just say you're playing first. So turn 5, right? You play Miss All Sunday to go to 6 Dawn. And then next turn, you go to 8 Dawn. And then you use his ability to go to 9 Dawn. And you can play down a Newgate. So maybe that's kind of the synergy they're going for, which does, and you're drawing a card obviously for Miss All Sunday, and you've got a 5K beater down now. That does seem very, very powerful actually. That does seem pretty good. So yeah, that could be really good actually. Let me think. So it would be turn 3 for Miss All Sunday, turn 4 Newgate. Yeah. So that's excellent. Okay, well, that's probably enough from me, guys. I think I'm going to end it here. I don't see much more else to talk about. Everything else is very straightforward. You know, it's running 11 2K counters, 12 blockers, 7 of your 1-cost 4K counters, 8 searchers, you know, 8 Marcos, you know, of course, it all makes sense to me. Because this can also, well, no, it is just, you have to trash an event card to KO this Marco, or to have him survive. Whereas this Marco just discards a Whitebeard card. But yeah, very cool. Y'all tell me what you think, guys. How strong does this deck look? Do you think this deck can actually beat some of these other like higher placing decks on these bigger lists, like, you know, Newgate, Rebecca? Like, how do y'all think it would do against like Blue Black Rebecca, Katakuri, Red Green Law, well, yeah, Purple Yellow Crocodile? That'd be fun to watch, I bet. You know, these 2 purple decks showing off, Purple Green Dofi, stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping by as usual. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. You know, don't be shy. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And until next time, guys. Peace.